Hey Said, do you want to quickly join us on stage and test the screen sharing and your audio?
Yeah, sure.
Awesome. Yeah, you're coming loud and clear. Let me just stop streaming for a moment so we can also test your screen sharing.
Okay. Yep. How does
Awesome.
it look like? Nice.
Yeah, it's looking great. Awesome. Thanks, Said.
Okay, perfect.
All right, let me just reshare my screen then, and we'll get started. I see that people are still joining, so let's wait for some extra 10-15 seconds. All right. Hi, everyone, and welcome. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedules to join us today. And because today we're hosting a Developer Office Hours Special Edition. And this effort is a part of the Autonomys Aurora Buildathon, our multi-month builder outreach initiative designed to inspire developers of all skill levels to build innovative applications using the Autonomous Network's cutting-edge technology stack. As a part of today's Developer Office Hours, we will be hosting a very, very exciting workshop led by our research engineer, Said, and who's going to be talking about the agents framework and the AutoOS. Today on stage with me, we have a few people. Like as I mentioned, we have Said, our research engineer, who will be doing the workshop. We also have Jim, the head of community, and you have me, Emil. I'm a community lead and DevRel manager. Just a reminder to follow us on socials to get all the latest updates about all the developments on the Autonomous Network. We have two X accounts. First is AutonomousNet. That's the account devoted for basically all the most important news about the network and about all developments on the network, on the partnerships, and all the exciting things happening around the project. We also have a bit more technically inclined X account, which is Autonomous Labs. And that would be the best place to follow if you're curious to learn about all the developments, to listen to the dev things. And that's the account that we use to share more of the kind of developer inclined information. And of course, we're always available to you on Discord, like today, as we are hosting this event on Discord. So we're back to Discord streaming, which I'm really, really happy about. We also, of course, have Telegram. So if you're prefer to use Telegram for any reason, we have different chats available for you. And developer chat is also available to you on Telegram. And of course, we have a forum where you can follow all the news, announcements, but also search for any kind of information available over there or ask for any support. So we're also monitoring the forum. We have a very busy and interesting agenda for today's call. First, we'll go over some of the developer updates. Then I'm going to unveil just a little bit of our upcoming developer engagement initiative that we are currently drafting. Then Jim is going to talk about the Cosmic Cultivators campaign, and is going to reveal all the details about the campaign. Then Said is going to do the workshop on agents and the AutoOS framework, and we'll have some time for a Q&A at the end of the call. First of all, I want to share the roundup of the QB Hackathon. And let me just start playing this video while I'm talking to what that was. So in late March, we co-sponsored the QB Hackathon, which is the Midwest Blockathon, the 20-hour blockchain-focused hackathon hosted at the University of Kansas. And this hackathon is aimed at fostering innovation and collaboration among hackers of all ages in surrounding region. Usually, this hackathon attracts around 200 developers, but it also brings Web3 specialists who offer the on-site support to the students. And of course, as with any hackathon, it offers the chance to win big prizes for students. So this year, we've got 22 projects submitted. We've got around 7 projects submitted to the Autonomous tracks, which I'm gonna reveal very, very soon. So specifically for this hackathon, because we knew that a lot of students, they weren't really that familiar with Web3 technologies, we've put together a special hacker's guide. And the hacker's guide was basically like a very long one-pager to all the things autonomous. So it described everything from like a brief history of the project and the stages of development of what autonomous is and what is our technology stack, to how can you build on autonomous network and how can you what kind of applications you can deploy and what's the tooling that is accessible for you as a builder. I would even say that since this page is still up, I can probably drop it in the chat, because that would be like, if you're only learning about the autonomous network, that one pager is still probably one of the best resources for you to find out everything about the network. But getting back to the QB hackathon, for the Autonomous, we sponsored a track, and the challenge was the unstoppable data for AI. So we've invited students to build applications utilizing the Auto Drive, our decentralized and permanent storage, because it's really important that the AI applications, they depend on this unstoppable data that can be censored, tampered with, or taken offline. We've got some very interesting submission, and on the right you see that we have Tesh Gumaste, who won the first place, who is the first place winner for the Autonomous challenge, with a prize of $1,000. Yeah, thank you for everyone at QB Hackathon who participated. It's really interesting to see your submissions, and congratulations to Tesh for winning the first place. Moving next, I also want to briefly go through the updates that we've recently pushed to Developer Hub. First, as we've recently announced the partnership with the Graph, I believe it was last week. So now we have a dedicated page on the Developer Hub regards deploying the graphs on the Autonomous network. But if you're not familiar with the Graph is an indexing protocol that provides an easy way to query blockchain data through decentralized APIs known as subgraphs. So for you, if you're using the AutoEVM, it's an opportunity for you to start indexing the smart contracts that you deploy. You can also query all the data which is coming through the smart contract, and listen to all of the basically like events or any interactions which happened with your smart contract. So it's really great tool, because it allows you to index everything which is happening. As I mentioned, it allows you to run GraphQL queries from this very easy to use graphical interface. And of course, it has a large amount of customization, so you can build your own specific graphs, or you can reuse the published subgraphs deployed by other developers. So this guide is available on the Developer Hub under the link develop.autonomous.xyz/evm/thegraph. The next update. We've also recently created the special guide on minting and sending NFTs on the Autonomous network. Because as you know, even though we are EVM compatible, we are minting NFTs and sharing NFTs works slightly differently on the Autonomous network. And one of the advantages, or significant advantage, that we offer is that both of your NFT metadata and the digital asset itself, like a music file or image or anything else, they are both stored on the on-chain, on the decentralized storage network that we offer. So it's basically the risk of disappearing of this data is zero. So it never goes offline. The link never expires, and you don't need to pin it in order to access it. And of course, since it's everything works natively, the AutoEVM, the consensus chain, and the Torus, they basically like they're all in one pod. There is no third-party dependency, so it just work out of the box. So the guide on the NFT minting and sending is also available for you on the Dev Hub under the develop.autonomous.xyz/evm/NFT guide. Let me briefly check the
Emil,
Yep.
would you like me to run the slides? I know it's like trying to be an octopus, isn't it? Trying to get everything running at once. But I think it's some of the text is a little bit blurry. Shall I think I'll set up so I can screen share. Let us know. Oh, hang on, I can't screen share. Why can't I screen share?
I think I need to stop streaming before you can. Do you want to give it a try?
Yeah, let's just try, because I think let us know in the chat whether this is easier to see. Okay. Okay. How does that look, guys? Is that a bit clearer?
Hopefully, yeah. For me, it's just with my setup, the window is very small, so I cannot tell. But yeah, and Dexter says it looks good on his end. Okay, so we'll give this a try. Yeah, thanks, Jim. Okay, we'll proceed to the next slide. We've also added the guide that we've recently posted on the forum. Is now also accessible on the Developer Hub, and that's the guide for wrapping AI3. What does wrapping mean? Wrapping means it's basically it's the process of converting a native cryptocurrency of a blockchain, like for instance, TAI3 is a native token of our chain, similarly to like ETH on Ethereum, into the ERC20 token version of itself. And why is it necessary? Like in some cases, this basically like standardization is important because it allows you to gain the kind of access to the standardized functionality of the ERC20 token. So now with this easy to follow guide, you can wrap the TAI3 and create the WAI3 token, so the wrapped version of the token. Jim, I believe you unmuted too. You want to add something?
Sorry, Emil. On Wrapped AI3.
Yep.
Yeah, just it's another tool. So if you're developing an application that requires ERC20 token, this is how you're able to use TAI3 on Auto EVM with its own contract address. So if you've got an application where you need the contract address, that's generally an indication that you'll want to have the ERC20 version. It is a little bit counterintuitive the way it works. So TAI3 on Auto EVM is like ETH on the Ethereum network. Every day is a school day, and this is something that I learned, which means that it doesn't actually have a contract address. So if you're working on something and you need an ERC20 version of the token, there's a guide. It's on the forum. It's just gone into the docs. As Emil says, if you've got any questions, come and find us. The developer chat is probably the best place to try and catch our eye. Is that okay, Emil?
Absolutely. Yeah, thanks, Jim.
Okay.
All right, moving on. We've also updated the faucet page, which I realized wasn't very up to date. So now this page has information about all the available faucets. So as you know, we have a Discord version of the faucet, which was always accessible. In some cases, it goes down for like one reason or another. So that we have a web version of the faucet, which is also available to you at autonomousfaucet.xyz. Basically, it works very similarly when you go to the website, you connect your GitHub or Discord account, and you can claim tokens once a day. So now this page is also linked from the Developer Hub, but also we have the non-official, like ambassador-driven faucet, which is also available. It was created by our amazing ambassador Charlie. It now is also linked on the list on the page with available faucets. So now all of this information is available directly from the Developer Hub. And moving on, we've been running yet another initiative, and that initiative is to deploy the applications submitted to the previous hackathons on the Autonomys servers. Why is that important? First of all, we really want to have one place available so that you, like everyone learning about the network or everyone willing to test the applications, so that they can go check out the code and test the deployed application. So we don't really want them to go down. That's why we're moved every single submission from all the previous hackathons and developer engagement initiatives that we've run before into the GitHub repo, into the GitHub org. And it is available under github.com org's Autonomous Community Organization. So over there, you'll see basically all of the submissions, and you can go and review the code. A few of them are already deployed on the servers. So whenever I deploy the application, I go and change the README description. And we will be also adding a new page with all the links to the deployed applications on the Developer Hub very, very soon. So stay tuned for that. But just know that this tool is, and this page and this org is also available for you to learn from and to review the code and test the applications. And last but not the least, as you know, we've recently announced the launch of the bridge, which is currently allows you to send the tokens from the Autonomys Taurus testnet to the Sepolia network. And it's a Hyperlane-based bridge developed in collaboration with our infrastructure partner, Photofire. The bridge is up. We are, of course, waiting for you to test it out. We are welcome any feedback as usual. So if you have any sort of problems with it, or if you know a way to make your experience better, please let us know. But we're also looking forward to this. We are looking forward to expanding to more chains, to supporting more chains. So if you have any specific demands or any specific chains that you would like us to support bridging to next, please leave your suggestions here in the chat, or the best place for it would be to go to any of the developer chats available across our socials. So that's all of the recent Developer Hub updates. And before passing the mic over to Jim, I just want to briefly announce or start revealing one of the upcoming initiatives that we are currently drafting. I won't spill too many beans because everything is still in the works. But I'm so excited to to work on it, and I'm so excited to that it's coming. So that we decided to unveil it just a little bit. So the initiative is going to be called The Battle of Rams, and it's going to be a global hackathon that marks the next chapter in Autonomous' incentivized journey to test, strengthen, and expand the developer ecosystem. So this effort will be launched across different platforms across the globe. And one of the kind of cooler things, or one of the things that will be very, very unique to this hackathon, is that it will have very deep integration with the game of domains mechanics. More details coming soon, but these two will be connected in a very interesting way. Secondly, we'll have it'll have various tracks for different kind of builders. So once again, no matter of your developer experience, no matter on what are the tools you're using to build, there will be a track specifically designed for you. And what we're also planning to do is, in a list of prizes, one of the prizes that the winners are gonna get is access to fast track pitching to the Subspace Foundation grants. Yeah, you heard it right. So everyone who will win this global hackathon, they will have access to fast track pitching to the Subspace Foundation grants. So hopefully this will start the flywheel on the grants side of the foundation. I won't be spilling any more details, but details are coming very, very soon. And please watch the space to not miss the announcement. I think that's it on my end. So the mic goes to you, Jim.
Thanks, Emil. Yeah, so I just want to pick two things out there. Really excited about the upcoming initiative, and yeah, what change do you want to see on the bridge? We did ask this on DevSync, I think, and I asked it a couple of times. But what change are you interested in being able to bridge AI 3 to? Of course, we can test things out on Taurus. So maybe pop which chains most excite you in the chat today. That'd be really interesting. Okay, thanks, Emil. So I'm a little bit awkward here because now I've got to try and run about 5 things at once. So yes, today I am very excited to officially announce a special collaboration we've been working on behind the scenes. We are launching the Cosmic Cultivators Quest, the AI3 tilling trials. This is a unique cross-ecosystem initiative between Autonomys and Talisman Wallet, as you can see with the graphic there. The Cosmic Cultivators Quest represents our first major cross-ecosystem campaign with Talisman, creating value for both communities while highlighting the accessibility and decentralization that makes Autonomys unique in the AI space. Starting today, April the 23rd, farmers and wallet users can begin preparing to participate in this mystical journey to till the digital soil of AI 3.0. Let me walk you through how the quest works. Okay, first, what you need to know is that all participants who earn the verified Talisman Terraformer Discord role, you can find it. It's live now in Discord. You can't get it yet, and I'll explain why. But everyone who's got that role will be entered into a random drawing for a share of a 2,000 USDC prize pool. And we've structured this so that even those with modest hardware setups can meaningfully participate. We don't want this to be exclusive. We don't want it to be the preserve of Wales. One of our goals here is to bring new farmers in. So to join the quest, you'll need to set up your Talisman wallet. And of course, the Talisman wallet fully integrates with both our consensus chains. So that's the farmer chain on Taurus, on our testnet, and also mainnet. And as well as supporting our EVM deployments, so auto EVM. Currently only on testnet, but obviously mainnet phase 2 will see an EVM domain available on mainnet as well. Once you've set your wallet up, you'll need to you'll need to connect your substrate wallet to Space Acres on Autonomys. And this is just in the standard way that you'd use Space Acres. We have videos on how to do that, but there will be something specific. I'll get onto that in a minute. Then you're going to need to farm at least 1 block or earn a vote reward during the quest period. We're going to run this between 2 blocks from May the 7th, so that's starting 2 weeks today, through to June the 4th. So it's going to the opportunity window is 4 whole weeks. You do need to remember that the reward must be earned during the valid blocks rather than those dates. So on those dates, on May the 7th and then June the 4th, we're going to announce the start and end blocks. Once you've earned a reward into that wallet, you will need to connect that wallet using Talisman to Astral. And then in the same way that you can currently get the verified roles, you'll need to link your Discord account on Astral to receive the verified Talisman Terraformer role. And that's it. Once you've done that, every qualified participant, everyone with that role, will be entered into the prize drawing. So speaking of prizes, the exciting part, how are the rewards broken down? So as I mentioned, we've established a total prize pool of 2,000 USDC, jointly funded by Autonomys and Talisman, and that breaks down into, there's going to be 1 very lucky grand prize winner who's going to receive 500 USDC. But then to make sure everyone else gets a chance, we also have 10 first runner-up prizes who are each going to receive 100 USDC, and then 10 second runner-up winners, each receiving 50 USDC. So plenty of opportunity to win. There's 21 prizes there. Winners will be selected through a random drawing on June the 11th, as I mentioned, from all those qualified Talisman Terraformers. And of course, the legal boilerplate, there are eligibility restrictions, and we will require winners to fill out a form. There's going to be a forum post going up shortly after the call, and you'll need to check out that forum post for the full details. Okay, key dates, the dates you want to be marking on your calendar. So today, we announced the quest, April the 23rd. May the 7th, we're going to announce the start block. June the 4th, we will announce the end block. So that's the start and the end of the window in which you'll need to earn a reward into your wallet. And then on June the 11th, a week after we close it down, the winners will be drawn. We're going to do that live on a call. And hopefully this timeline gives everyone, including new farmers who are just getting started, sufficient time to set up their hardware, sync their nodes, and earn at least one reward. And to help you succeed in this quest, we're preparing some resources. So I'm about halfway through recording a video guide on setting up your Talisman wallet and connecting it to Space Acres. As I mentioned, there's a forum post with the full instructions that will go out later today. And we'll have a dedicated Discord event when we announce the start block. And we're going to invite some of the Talisman team over to join us for that call. So if you've got any questions about the wallet, that's a great place to ask them. The quest will also be available on Zeely for those who participate in our quests there. And yeah, as always, stay tuned to our announcement channels, Discord, Telegram, and the forum. That's how you can make sure you don't miss any important happenings regarding the Cosmic Cultivators. So we are thrilled to collaborate with Talisman on this initiative. Their multi-chain wallet provides excellent security and usability for our community, and this quest is a perfect opportunity to forge stronger connections between our ecosystems. We want Talisman wallet users to become farmers, and we want our farmers to become Talisman wallet users ultimately. So whether you're an established farmer seeking the protection of the Talisman, or a wallet wielder curious about the fertile fields of Autonomys, this quest offers rewards for all those who traverse both realms. If you have any questions about the Cosmic Cultivators quest, please raise them and we'll find them in Q&A at the end of the call. Thanks very much. That's it from me, Emil. I'm not sure. Who am I handing off to? Oh, okay, Saeed.
Yeah. Nice, Jim. Thanks. So
I'll need to release the window like so,
yeah.
and you should be able to share now, Saeed.
Okay, awesome. I guess my window is up, right?
Yep, I can see it.
Perfect. So I'm gonna go with the start, okay, little introduction of how the agent framework works. And then we will jump into how we can set up your first agent, what are the configuration and credentials that you need to take care of, and the web CLI at the end. And hopefully we will reach to question and answers. It's a quite lot to cover right now. I probably will skip a lot of details, just give you the gist of how to run an agent. So the agent framework is basically designed in this structure that we can see on my Figma right now. We have an orchestrator, and this orchestrator is responsible to orchestrate tasks and basically your prompt between sub agents. If you're coming with a programming background, each one of these agents, for example, Twitter agent or a Slack agent, or in the future you want to develop your own agent, is basically an instantiate from the orchestrator agent. So under the hood, there is no difference between the code source of your agent, for example, Twitter agent, and the orchestrator agent. The only difference is that how you configure the relations between your agents. Okay, that's nice. And another property that basically each one of your agents that you will give to them is a tool set. You can think about the tool set as a toolbox that each one of these agents has access to a couple of tools. To make it more concrete, for example, a Twitter agent has access to a couple of tools, for example, fetching your recent mentions or posting a tweet or reading your timeline tweets and these kind of things. And you can basically develop your tools, or you can just use the predefined tools that we already develop. Or if you're, for example, coming with your own agent, you can develop whatever tools that you like for your agent. that's basically it. And the last thing that I have to mention here is that it is fully autonomous. So there is no human in the loop. All of the decisions, all of the planning, feedbacks, everything is handling by the LLM and basically by the own agent. Let's walk through, for example, with a task, and then we will jump into the code. Let's say I initiate the whole flow with just one prompt, which is basically true. And I'm giving my request to the orchestrator agent. Hey there, I wanted to post a tweet about our awesome workshop today. And I'm super excited to announce to people that our framework is up and running and people can jump in and develop their own agent. So the orchestrator agent will see, okay, I have a couple of tools in my toolbox, basically treating each one of these agents as a tool. So, okay, which one of them is the best to handle this job? Probably Twitter agent. So I will forward the task to the Twitter agent. The Twitter agent will receive this prompt, look into whatever the task and knowledge it has, and start running and planning for the execution of your request, which basically is saying, okay, I have this amount of knowledge about this task. For example, I know that the framework is developed in TypeScript. I know how it works. I know the steps to initiate the basically a new agent and put together a tweet or a series of tweets and post it on behalf of your account. And in the meantime, in parallel of doing this job, all of the learned experiences, basically all of the chain of thought of your agent will be uploaded to Autonomys DSN. And in a future task that you run with your agent, the agent is able to use the previous experiences. For example, if he saw a couple of bugs or technical bugs or receive a feedback from another person on Twitter that this word, for example, is not appropriate to use in public, it takes it into consideration for the new responses and actions. Okay, I guess that's enough for the introduction, and we can jump into the code. So if you wanted to run your agent, there are two ways that you can do it. And the second way is the best one, but we will start with the normal way that everybody is familiar with. So we have a template repository in our organization. So if you go to the github.com/autonomous, you will be able to see this template repository. And as you're already familiar with, if you wanted to create a new repo based on a template, the only thing that you need to do is just use the template and click on the create new repository. Let me zoom in probably. Okay, that's much better. Yeah, create a new repository and it will automatically create a new repository on your GitHub account. And the next step is just following the README. So the project structure of your agent is as you can see here. There is a source folder which contains the running script, which is basically the entry point of your agent, and a folder named tools, which basically a tool set that you're giving your agent, as I previously described how it works. And there is a package.json and tsconfig.json. Basically, you don't need to deal with the tsconfig. Everything is can run out of the box. There are a couple of scripts that I will get back to them, and the cert folder as well, which I will explain how it works, and the characters. So the characters is basically very important to take care about. Like basically is the only step that you need to take care before running your agents. So if we go to the example config, when you're initiating your agent, you have to basically set up the confidentials and credentials. For example, if you're going to use OpenAI or Claude as the main LLM, you should put the API keys here. And if you are going to use the Twitter agent, basically the agent needs your handle, basically username and the password. And the rest of it, we can skip for now. But the most important one, if you wanted to upload your basically the agent's learned experiences or memories, you have to set up the AutoDrive API key. And getting one is very easy. You can basically go to AI3.storage. Let's do it quickly right now. You can sign in with Google. And I'm going to sign in with my company account. Continue.
Sorry to butt in while you're logging in. Could you zoom in a little bit more just so we can see some of the code's a little bit hard to read?
Oh.
When we go back to the code.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Okay, so basically you can just go to the developer and create a new API key, click on generate, that's it. And you can just copy it and go here and paste it in your environment. I'm not sure, Jim, I'm zooming in my browser, but not sure why it's not zooming here, but probably it should be okay when I jump into the code. Yeah, so after that, basically you'll have to just click on yarn install and it will install all of the necessary packages here. Basically a simple and traditional yarn installing the packages. In order to create your character, you can basically use this script to create the character and it will create all of the templates file and it will ready for you just to modify all of the credentials. And the certificate. So the agent is working with the API for outsiders. So for example, if you want to run your agent inside cloud or any other spaces and you wanted to have access from your computer, there is an API set up on the agent side and it will expose the important stuff. For example, give you the access to initiate a task or schedule a task or running what's going on inside the agent. So the mechanism behind the agent API is HTTP 2. So as you know, in HTTP 2, we have to set up the SSL. And right now, it depends on you. If you wanted to run it in your local machine, there is a script to generate the certificates, but be aware of that. It's going to be self-signed. So when you open it in your browser, for example, we will get to that. It says it's not secure. So if you're running it on for example, a domain, you can just get the official certificates and it will work. But on your local machine, it will be a self-sign. And that's it. You're all set to run your agent. You can just yarn start and the name of your character, and it will pop up and you will see all of the flow. Okay, let's do it. And before jumping into starting, I wanted to introduce the AutoOS CLI. Basically, AutoOS is here to help you to escape all of the difficulties that you were facing before. You can, if you ever create a React project or an NPM or Yarn project, as you know, it's like NPM init, and it will create an NPM project for you. And here's the same logic. After you install the CLI, which is basically a binary, you can init your agent project. So the only job that you need to do is to npm install globally the agent OS, and it will install on your local machine. Okay, that's it. Let's jump into the code. I'm gonna open a new. Find out. Okay, let's go here. A new window here, and okay, I have to share the whole screen. Okay. Jim, can you see my terminal?
Could we zoom it in a bit, Saeed? It's this isn't the greatest platform, I'm realizing, for code. As big as you can handle yourself, I think Saeed is probably going to help.
Okay. How does it look like now?
Yeah, I can read that. Thank you.
Okay, awesome. So I already installed the Autonomys package. So if we go with the Autonomys-help, which is a standard to show you the help, we have a bunch of commands here. For example, initting, installing the tools, we will get to that. Publishing a tool, searching between the published tools, etc. But the most important thing that we are interested right now is to initting a project, initting agent project. So let's see what kind of commands do we have inside the init. Okay, so the first argument that you have to pass basically is necessary is the name of your agent project, which we can just choose whatever name that you want. The flag install will install all of the packages inside the agent package. So if you don't feel safe, you wanted to look at the code before installing all of the packages, you don't have to pass the flag install. And if you do, it will install all the packages automatically, and you don't need to deal with it after that. So if you wanted to create the character, and when you're installing or initting a new project, you can just pass the character flag. And if you wanted to, for example, disable the API, you can just pass the flag API with the false, because the default is true. That's it. So I'm going to create a new agent. For example, let's call it Bob, because I already have the Alice one. And with the install, and I can, for example, say the character also Bob. So the way that it works is basically pulling the template from the repository, installed all of the dependencies from in the package.json, and also create the character for you. And as you can see, the next steps here is to go to the project that you just initiated, which is Bob, and configure all of the credentials and environment variables. So let's see, what do we have here? I'm gonna go to cd Bob dot the IDE comes out. Let's zoom in. Okay, so inside the character we have the Bob, and one of the directories is the config, and basically you can set up all of the environment variables that we already talked about. So if you wanted to change the port that the API will be basically stream all of the events, or basically send all of the necessary information, you can change the port here. By default is 3010. And also, if you wanted to make it safe, for example, if you don't want to expose it to the whole internet or everybody, you can just add the API token here, and we will get to that. For example, when you wanted to run the UI to basically interact with your agent, you should pass this to the React application as well, which is the web-CLI. So that's for the confidential and credentials. We do have the config here as well. So basically in the config.yaml file, there's a bunch of flags and configuration that you can just change. For example, the posting tweets for the Twitter agents is by default false, because when you're testing, we don't want it to test, basically post a lot of crash. You're just testing the software, and by default it's false. So when you feel comfortable, you can just change the flag to true. And auto drive, basically, as I mentioned, is to for storing all of the memories and learned experiences of your agents is also by default false because it needs your API key and also your wallet. So after you configure the API key, you put it there inside the environment file here. You can turn it in true. I mentioned that you need the wallet as well. Why do you need the wallet? So the wallet is basically will register the unique identifier of your memory inside the smart contract, and it will construct a chain of memories, and it's always updating the tip of your chain of memories inside the smart contract, and all of them is basically connected together in a form of chain like the blockchains. So it will make you portable. And when you wanted to, for example, resurrect or pulling all of the previous memories, we can just using with the seeing the latest CID inside the smart contract. We do have a script for it. We'll get to that later, or maybe another workshop. But basically, it will pulls all of the memories backwards from the tip. So you don't have to deal with storing the CID, for example, the learned experience that uploaded to DSN by yourself. The program will do it for you, and to make it happen, you basically have to set up your wallet. You can just pass the private key here. The contract address of the registering the memories is already set, and also the RPC URL. The only thing that you need to do is just your private key and make sure it's funded. So we do have this on the Trust Auto EVM. You can get the go to the faucet page and get some tokens on the EVM testnet, and it will work. That's it. So the last thing on the configurations is basically your character. The character basically is specifying how your agent is going to behave when interacting with outsiders or basically executing your task. So for example, by default, the goal of this agent, which is Bob, is to engage in the social media conversations and other AI agents and humans. One of the goals is post a tweet, reply to tweets, quote a tweet, follow users, and etc. The personality of this agent is enthusiastic and encouraging about innovations. And as you can read, and you can add, for example, more. And the expertise of this agent in the software development, open source, and technical education, and etc. So one of the things about the frequency preference is your agent, one of the ability of your agent is to scheduling task for the future. And it will do it automatically. And basically it's autonomous as well. So you don't have to deal with it. You can schedule tasks, we'll get to that. But basically one of the default functions and abilities of your agent is to scheduling tasks for the future. For example, it posts a tweet about something and it wanted to look at the engagement 3 days from now. It will do it by itself. But it comes with a frequency. It's just like a vague instruction for your agent, like how frequent do you want to schedule tasks. If the frequency is too high, basically it will schedule too many tasks. So you have to make sure you have enough credit on the LLM providers like Claude or OpenAI that it will do it. So basically every run of your agent needs some LLM calls to Claude and OpenAI. So if the frequency is too high, probably you have to spend more money. You can make it slow by instructing here, and that's it. And so the communication rules is basically based on your preference. Here we do have like use we or us when referring as AI agents. So basically wanted to make it more human-like and etc. So that's it. After that, basically you can just yarn a start. Well, so because I don't have the credentials here, it will give me an error that you're not all set it needs at least the credentials for the LLM. But I do have another project with all the credentials. If you wouldn't mind, I will not share the credentials with you, but we can see how the agent works, basically. Okay. Let me minimize that page. Do a lot of zooming. Okay, let's check. Perfect. Okay. So in the characters, I do have an Alice character, and I'm in an Alice project, which I initiated this project just before the workshop and set up all of the credentials. So as I said, it's just yarn start Alice. And let's see. So it exposes the API access to port 311, which is I basically put it into the environment file. It's successfully logging into the Twitter, and the vector databases is up and running, and we all are set. Okay, so the way that you can interact with your agent is two ways. Basically, you can just do it over the API, but the much easier way is to do it over Web CLI. So we are still working on it. In the coming days, we will have a Docker image for the Web CLI. But right now, the way that you can run the Web CLI, unfortunately, is to have to pull the mono repo, the actual original repo of the Autonomys agents. And after that, you can just run yarn to install all of the dependencies. It's basically a yarn workspace, so you don't have to go to the Web CLI folder basically and yarn all of the packages there. No, but you can just on the root install all of the packages and dependencies, and then there will be an environment file here. As the other projects, you can just copy and paste or rename this from the .env.sample to .env. And the thing that you have to take care about is basically the port. If you wanted to change the port from the default to something else, we can change it here. And by default, is looking into 3010, which is the default value for the API on the agent environment file as well. So if you change the port of the API in the agent environment file, please change it here as well. And if you set up a token for the API security, you should pass the token here as well. And after that, let me pull up the agent here. After that, the only command that you have to run is yarn dev web. Okay, let's let it run. Perfect. So let me also do a bunch of zooming here. And as you can see, this is the official Web CLI of your agent, and it's already pulled out the character name, which was Alice, and it's here, and it's ready for your prompt. And for example, for the first prompt, I will say, okay, please post a tweet about the workshop on and we just please send. So it will go through planning phase by itself, and let's see. So, okay, I wanted to show you this. If you would remember, I was telling that based on this Figma, that you have the orchestrator agent, and inside the orchestrator agent, there is a relationship between other agents, for example, Twitter agent. So as you can see from here, this nav bar basically showing all of your agents, and the orchestrator agents send the signal to the Twitter agent that I wanted to post a tweet, do and run this task. But the flag of the posting tweet is false on my end. So basically, it will not post a tweet. However, the flag for saving the experiences is on. So it's posting. It is running the tools to save the experience, as you can see here. And we have the CID and the previous CID, as you mentioned, is a chain of memories. And if you go to Astral and you see the Alice agent, which is our agent. And if I pull out the CID, is basically the action that is doing. The action was posting a tweet, excited to running a workshop on Autonomys agent right now, exploring how agent and blah, blah, blah. And tweet post is the type and the context. So all of these basically information is generated by your agent, the data field. And the other field like header or the signature is predefined on the code base. The role of the signature basically show the authenticity of your agent. So if you publish your public key of the wallet that you already set up on the environment file, everybody is able to check if this memory is coming from your agent or not. So basically it's a form of commitment on the memories that you already uploaded or the agent is uploaded. So after that, so basically it's still running the task. So it's almost done. It's thinking about other steps. So the thoughts right now is analyzing the request and available tools, action plan, and etc. Let's see. It's done. And I'm running with the default frequency. As you can see, it's already a scheduled 2 tasks. They're almost similar, but basically you can just delete one of them if you want. It's a scheduled task by itself. We didn't touch anything, and the workflow of the agent is completed. If you go to the completed page, you will see that please posting tweet came back with the result. This action finished running at this time. Action summary during the workflow execution completed, posted tweet about the workshop. It was simulated because the flag was false. Where actual posting was disabled. The experience was saved with the save experience tool and etc. So that's it. Basically, you can schedule more tasks. The way that you can do it is basically just prompted here. When it's running a task, it cannot run your task and it will be scheduled, or you can just simply like schedule task about blah, blah. And I guess we all are set. Oh, one last thing, which I'm very excited about. So right now, you should be able to run your agent and set up the web CLI easily if you just follow the steps that I just described. However, the web CLI comes with more, properties and features. One of the features that I'm very excited about is installing the tools. So we were thinking about like the community that you guys, your awesome devs, will just develop your own tools and publish the tools, or develop your own MCP and attach the MCP to the tools. So the way that you can install the tools or develop your own tools, let me send the preview. Okay. If we come to the MCP part, which I believe this is the part that a lot of people are excited about, this is an example for the Notion. So the Notion is already exist on the agent package, so you can just import it. We will see in a couple of minutes. But other than that, you can just develop your own tools or your own MCPs. In order to do that, you can basically just follow the README. You should import the create MCP client tool from the Autonomous-agent core and basically create your own MCP. And inside the index.ts, which was your entry point, you can just create the MCP tools. For example, this was the Notion, just create Notion tools and pass it to the agent. So how we can pass it to the agent? If you go down and to the orchestrator, so there is a tools tool array, which was the tool set that we were talking about at the starting of this workshop. So right now I have a Twitter agent. A Twitter agent tool is basically the Twitter agent that we saw on the Figma. You can add more tools, your own tools. For example, you can create, as I said, the MCP for the Notion and just pass it here like this, like Notion, not just that. Yeah, like Notion agent tool or Notion MCP tool. And you can just come here and const Notion MCP tool and create Notion MCP tool. And basically you have to create the Notion MCP just following the README. And when you pass a prompt to in a web CLI, just I wanted to, for example, create a web page, create a document about your topic on the Notion, it will be able to call your MCP server and client, and the MCP will take care of it for you. So you can develop your own tools, or you can use other tools that people or devs already published. And so unfortunately, the search feature is right now is disabled, but I already have a publisher tool. It's just an example, just to testing everything. So if we look at the commands again, we do have an install commands. This install commands is for installing tools from the registry or directory by CID. So let's see what do we have here. Okay, so basically you only need to pass the tool name and it will fetch the latest version for you and put it inside the tools directory of your agent. If you wanted to install a specific version, you can just pass it with the argument -v. So in the coming days, we will have a website that you can see all of the tools, like the NPM registry, and you can just grab the name and install it here. The same experience that you already have with the NPM or Yarn. And if, for example, Autonomys install X1 test tool, it will so basically the latest version is 1.4.11 and it will install it. So this tool, for example, just for example, comes with the extra dependencies, for example, on ethers and Axios, which doesn't exist on your package.json. So it just advises you to install these two packages with the advised versions as well. And this tool will be available here inside your tools folder, and you can just come here and let me see what was the. So it's the X1 tool. Let's import X1 tool from tools. Yes, because it's a module. And that's it. It will be available inside your agent.ts as well. Let me see if we are okay. We don't have tools. It's X1 tool, and you can come down inside the tool set. It's too zooming. Okay, you can just pass it here. And that's it. After that, your agent will have access to this tool. Later on, hopefully in other workshops, we can go through how we can publish tools, how we can maintain your tools. And yeah, I'm super excited for you guys to see your agents, and let me know if you have any questions. Yeah, pass it to you, Jim.
Awesome. Thanks very much, Said. Excellent workshop, and it's really, really exciting to watch all of the updates that you are constantly working on, and all the improvements that you're making to the Autonomous Agents framework is always very interesting and exciting. Yeah, we do have a couple of questions from the community. CI Point asking, how easy would it be to use a DeepSeek, for instance, on my local, DeepSeek instance on my local PC instead of the ChatGPT API?
Yeah, so right now, one of the difficulties that we are facing with the local LLMs like DeepSeek or Llama is their limited accessibility of tool executions. And unfortunately, Claude or OpenAI is doing best or better than local LLMs. But on the paper, you can just change the configurations from the Sonnet 3.5 to your DeepSeek. We already have the instantiated in the code base. So you are able to connect DeepSeek, but you should expect to see not much, but lower efficiency when you're working with the local LLMs. This is a topic that we are actively working on in order to, for example, have a fine-tune models, basically local models, in order to run the tool sets or tool executions like the Claude or OpenAI. But right now, you will see like a lower efficiency when comparing the local LLMs to the LLM providers like Claude or OpenAI. But yeah. And another question from William was, I would like to hear briefly the mechanism of how to make it possible to share knowledge of two agents. That's a really good question. So let me share the screen again. Okay, one topic that probably it will be on another session, but I can briefly go through it right now. So inside the character files will be, let me pull up the Alice one. Inside this, there will be a data, and this data will have experiences and other vector databases. So one thing that you can do, basically, you can resurrect all of the knowledge of the another agent, for example, Bob, with a simple script here, and basically load all of this, all of the previous knowledge of your another agent into the experiences vector database. And after that, when your agent is running, it will look into all of the experiences that it can see inside this vector database. A bit more about how it works under the hood is just like generate a query by itself with the LLM action and send that to the vector database for the vector similarity search and retrieve a couple of most basically similar experiences to the prompt. So yes, it is possible to share the experiences of another agent or the knowledge of another agent to your agent. That's another feature that we are working to provide in AutoOS CLI as well, that you can, when you're, for example, in a Bob agent project, you can just pull out all of the information or experiences or knowledge of another agent if you are the owner of that agent. That was a really good question and awesome feature.
Yeah, thanks, Said. And previously, we've also had one more question from CI Point. The agents are running on-chain and executed by the validators. Can you please clarify which part of the agents are running on-chain, or which of the on-chain features the agents framework are using?
I see. No, so the agent is running locally on your computer. There is no need to be a validator or the operator, basically. But all of the experiences and knowledge of the agent will be uploaded to the blockchain. So the memories and experiences are on-chain. As a matter of fact, for example, our flagship agent, which is Argument, is uploading all of its memories and experiences to the or autonomous blockchain. So this is the minimal explorer for the agent memories. For example, this memory is 47,246 because it's running for a couple of months. If you go to the view details, you will see all of the actions that it basically went through. Let me make it more zoom in. Yeah, thanks, Jim. So we can see that is there is a metadata as we saw for the Alice one, and all of these memories are on chain. And you can see the CID, or you can just go to the Explorer and see it on the Astro. So I guess Astro didn't catch up with this memory, but basically it's there. You can just go with this one, click on the Explorer. Oh, something is not happening on the Astro. But yeah, so you have the CID, you can double check it on chain, and with all of the metadata that you can see here, and the signature. And if you know the public key of the argument, which is public, I guess, you can see it on the blockchain or the block explorer. Who is this address? Who is the public key? And this belongs to argument, and you can verify this signature against all of the data that you are seeing here.
Thanks very much, Said.
Okay, thanks, Jeremy. No worries.
All right. I believe that's all the questions that we have regards the autonomous agents framework, but we do have a couple of different questions. So here is asking what I need to do after connecting Talisman wallet to Astral, and I believe that's regarding the Cosmic Cultivators quest.
Yeah, happy to take that one, of course. So yeah, we haven't actually kicked it off. So I appreciate that. I kind of ran through it verbally earlier, Keir, but there will be a forum post going out. What you can do at the moment is install Talisman, and if you don't have Space Acres or CLI running a farmer, get those prepared. You can't actually collect the role because we haven't announced the start block yet. Again, this is probably going to make more sense when it's all laid out on the forum. So bear with us there, Keir.
Yeah, thanks, Jim. And one more question to follow from CI Point. Can I use the Talisman wallet to replace the Polkadot wallet?
Yeah, so that's kind of what I was getting at earlier. So we actually, our chain supports substrate wallets. So the consensus chain supports those substrate wallets, which is where you get your SU addresses. And Auto EVM supports regular EVM addresses, the 0x addresses that most people are more familiar with. So Talisman actually supports both. When you spin up Talisman wallet, when you install the extension for the first time, and you say, I want to create a wallet, there's a question right in front of you. It actually terms it an EVM wallet, or it calls it a Polkadot wallet, but they mean substrate because when you pick Polkadot wallet, that wallet actually works on all substrate-based chains. There's a great kind of primer. If you search the forum for SS58, you'll find our little primer that goes some way to explaining substrate addresses, how they're generated, and why you can see the same address represented in multiple different ways. But if you have follow-up questions, please do ping me directly in Discord after the chat if you need me to try and fill in any blanks there. But thanks for the question. I before I go as well, I see we have a laundry list of questions from Penguin. We do want to try and focus today's questions on agents, and while we've got Saeed here, all questions around the agentic framework. Penguin, I'm going to copy your questions out and answer them in the general chat later on. So bear with me. I can't see. Are there any other questions related to agents and the framework? I do feel like we should probably do a more sort of elementary session at some point, just to kind of explain the integration of the agents framework with the chain at a higher level. Maybe we can do that.
That sounds like a good option. Yeah, and Said, if you're ever willing to come back on stage, you're always welcome, because it's really exciting to have you here.
Yeah, my honor, my pleasure. Me.
Yeah, and it's yeah, thanks, Said. And it's great to see the questions coming from the community. So yeah, thanks everyone asking these questions, and help. Thank you for all the help with providing feedback to the framework. That's what we're really looking forward to. All right, so I believe if we are gonna answer Penguin's questions in the chat, I think there's pretty much no questions left. So as we wrap up today's developer office hours, I want to take a moment to acknowledge how far we've come together as a community. The launch of mainnet phase 2 is approaching, and with it comes incredible opportunities for builders like you to pioneer the future of AI 3.0. Some key takeaways from today's call. The bridge is up and running, and we're looking forward to your suggestions on which chains we need to support next. The agents framework. Yeah, thanks once again, Said, for doing the excellent workshop. Agents framework is our exciting development. Please give it a try and provide us your feedback. That's something that we're really looking forward to. As I pointed out, Developer Hub gets constant updates to ensure the best builder experience. So we're always updating it to ensure everything there is very up to date. Cosmic Cultivators campaign in collaboration with Talisman Wallet is announced and launching very soon. And of course, the Aurora Buildathon is undergoing, with more exciting workshops and developer engagement initiatives to come. What's next? If you're a builder, now is time to dive into our tools and start experimenting. If you want to be the part of the Aurora Buildathon, make sure you're following our announcements. Huge thank you to everyone who joined us today. We appreciate your passion, your feedback, your questions, and your contributions to our ecosystem. But until next time, stay decentralized, stay creative, and thank you for building with us. See you next time.
Thanks, everyone.